Good morning and welcome to Today in L.A. My name is Mike Amos. His name is Forrest Lee as we get started on a Thursday, the Thursday before the 4th of July, and hope everybody out there is doing well. The mosquitoes are bad down at Drayton Beach, as far as my son says. He counted the bites on his little son. I hate to say it, and he said you wouldn't have believed how many mosquitoes bit that little boy.
Little girl?
Little girl, excuse me, little girl as she was playing out in the yard. And that is something that everybody needs to be cautious about, and spray the kids real good with repellent because they're really bad this time of year, especially in Florida.
Yeah, I hadn't seen the city of Troy go by with that little fog machine, but, you know, we're halfway through the year. We're halfway through the year.
Oh, yeah. Boy, this is the 4th of July weekend, and, hey, everybody's getting excited, and athletes are getting paid to play. And
as of midnight.
Do you have any reports on any of the recreation teams? I know we had two recreation teams that went all the way to the finals, and the state finals, and lost. One of them lost to Dothan, one of them lost to Enterprise.
I really don't, Mike. I don't have a local paper, you know, that if I don't see it on Facebook, it's hard to follow it. And but
of course, a lot of tournaments going on, and you know, a lot of Troy teams have yet to play in the tournament play. But like I said, that was listen to this. It was a 11 and under, and a something like a 6 and under, or something like that, played for the championships.
Yeah,
6 and under.
11 under, 6 and under, softball, baseball, slow pitch. I mean, not slow pitch, coach pitch, machine pitch. Everybody's got a
hope everybody's doing well this morning, and everybody's getting ready for the big fireworks. Fireworks coming up this weekend, at least Sunday night.
Right.
At probably closer. Go ahead.
Good morning.
Morning. How y'all doing?
Mike Amos calling in from Drayton Beach, and you gonna give us a mosquito report?
Hell State.
Yeah,
Mississippi
right.
State.
Mississippi State. And hey, if I had a cowbell, I'd ring it, Mike.
I mean, I almost got emotional for them last night. I mean, that fan base, well, you could tell there was the people in that crowd that probably never thought they'd see the day that they finally win it all.
You know,
12 times for the World Series.
That's another good example of how big the SEC is. You know, Mississippi State hadn't won anything, and hey, they almost jam-packed it with Mississippi State fans alone, didn't they?
That was the 8th national.
They haven't won a national championship in any sport. How about that?
I know it, and they've been there. Now, they've been there more than anybody to the College World Series, but yet to win, and it was always hard to win, too.
I believe Florida State's been 32 times and hadn't won. Isn't that right, Michael? About 30 times?
23
times and has not won. You know, that's the 8th national championship, I believe, for the Southeastern Conference this year. They listed it on the screen last night. And
it's been a big year for the conference, no question, the Southeastern Conference.
I did a little rundown on their roster. They have, like, I think it's 14 players from Mississippi, 4 from Alabama. The rest of them are scattered throughout the country. Vanderbilt has 8 players from Tennessee, 1 from Alabama, and those kids come from all over the country. It's a national recruiting base.
Well, let me just tell you a little bit about Troy. You know, earlier in the year we had some of the best Troy travel ball teams, and these were high school kids to come to Troy and play. There were some out of Mobile and Dothan and Montgomery in this area. But this past week in Troy, they've held the best junior and senior baseball players in the state of Georgia, state of Mississippi, two of them from the state of Alabama, Mississippi, like I said, Louisiana. They played their baseball tournament here in Troy, Mike, and it's one of the top programs. I talked to one of the coaches, and it's considered one of the top baseball tournaments for junior and senior players that are going to be juniors and seniors next year. And Troy was the host, and boy, don't you know that they? Well, I don't know how many of the Troy people are working right now, but they could have gotten a great look at some of the best in those states.
In the state of Alabama. Hey, and Michael,
Yeah, big news for Troy football overnight. Did y'all mention that?
no, we haven't got to that yet.
Yeah, Jacob Free has decided to give up football and is now the new quarterback coach at Strong High School for Ashley Gilcrease. So he is no longer on the Troy roster, and he has decided to become a high school football coach. He's already a Troy grad, and best of luck to him. I tell you what, he's a guy that, I don't know if he's the guy that was going to be the starter, but he's the guy that definitely can help you if the starter went down. He had great
That's right.
experience. So,
You know, I talked to Skip about him, and he told me that that's what he wanted to do.
Not Skip, but Chip.
Chip. Hey, hey, listen, all of those folks don't know. They might think it is Chip, but it is Skip.
It may be Skip pretty
Chip. But I talked to him about Free, and he said Free was a great kid, and this is a great opportunity for him. But at the same time, he lost a guy that went into Arkansas State like no other quarterback at Troy has ever done, and beat the devil out of Arkansas State. Hey, he can always say he did that, can't he?
The way
How about the comeback against Coastal Carolina? I mean, he did what he had to do to win the game.
Yeah.
The defense let him down.
Yeah, that's right. Sure did.
I guess that means either Gunnar Watson or Taylor Powell, the transfer from Missouri, will be the quarterback, because you had one to get hurt. Kyle Pooh, did he get hurt?
Yeah. I don't know,
spring?
but he's not at Troy anymore. Kyle Poole is gone. Did you know that, Mike?
I did not.
You sure about that?
I want to say he's gone.
Well, the article that I printed this morning said that Kyle Pooh, a true freshman, was also in the mix before he had an arm injury.
Well, I tell you what, I'm glad, because he's a good football player, but I was thinking that he might have been gone, but maybe not.
I think they're thinking about Parker McNeil.
Yeah.
You got a Hawkins kid who was a senior at Bainbridge.
And they love
Troy
him.
in the winter.
Yeah, you're right. They love him.
So there's four up there, or three.
Yeah.
One's hurt. And hey, Michael, you've got a new sponsor for Milo's Tea.
That's great. Really?
Bo Nix.
Not us.
Bo Nix. He tweeted last night at 12:02 a.m. He is the first to announce a sponsorship. How sweet it is, these are his quotes, how sweet it is to partner with @Drink Milo's for my first sponsorship as a college athlete. He wrote on Instagram of him holding up a bottle of Milo.
He's a Birmingham kid.
Milo sweet tea. And so at midnight last night, all these college athletes, their name, image, likeness, there's a set of twins who play basketball, I believe, at Fresno State. They're twin girls. They're beautiful, very athletic. The report that I read this morning, they're worth probably over $1 million right now.
You know, Mike, I'd love to see somebody now. Let's throw a few names out that some of these Troy guys can get some money. You know, I would think some of these quarterbacks could get some money. You know.
Well, Alabama and the big schools that are playing in the playoffs every year, a lot of those guys are going to make a lot of money.
Yeah, Kool-Aid McKinstry.
That's not how much money Tua would have made.
Yeah, Kool-Aid McKinstry, hasn't even played. He's already making money.
Yeah.
That was in the report. But anyway.
I wanted to mention a real possible candidate for the Troy baseball job is a guy that's, at South Alabama right now. He was Troy's former pitching coach, Brad Phillips. He coached in Troy for 8 years under Pierce and Smart.
Mm-hmm.
And then also was the head coach of Charles Anderson Hospital, took Charles Anderson to the state championship game. That's a guy who we need to start looking at. I mean, great pitching coach. South Alabama had their best team ever this year. Basically, all they had to do was win one game. They were going to go to the Super Regional.
Yeah.
So remember that Brad Phillips name. He's been at Troy for 8 years as the pitching coach, and then he was the GA at Troy in 2003, 2004. And he was coaching Charleston Instant for probably 3 years. The guy lived in Detroit for 11 or 12 years.
Oh,
he was there. I don't think he was ever the head coach at Charles Simpson, was he? Was he like?
Yeah, he was. Yeah, he was Charles Simpson head coach.
Okay.
yeah, and he is an excellent choice, I would say. You're right.
Including a 5A state championship appearance in 2008.
Yeah.
Named Alabama High School Coach of the Year for the Class 5A region.
Okay.
Yeah. Of course, there's a lot of good ones out there.
Four consecutive times he won Region 2 Coach of the Year by the Dothan Eagles.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So he was at Charles Simpson for 4 years.
Where's his hometown, Michael?
He's got a relationship with Pierce. He's from Hazel Green.
Yeah, that's right, from Hazel Green. He coached also at down there
he's got great connections because he left Charles Simpson, went to Niceville.
Niceville. That's right. That's right, Niceville, and that South Alabama, and what a program. And I know him well, and he's a great guy. And there's no question about it. He'd be a good fit here at Troy, and but. Of course, they're opening. I'm sure they're opening it up to everybody, and there'll be applicants for that job from all over the country. I don't think there's been a decision already made about the coach, but they could be. Those guys over there have complete control. They want a guy that they like. They can put a guy in there that they like. It's not going to bother me if they can come in here and win baseball games and do it right.
Right.
Didn't
South go very far or they went to one of the regions?
South was one game for the Super Regionals. They blew out Miami, they blew out Florida, beat South Florida, and then they actually lost to South Florida with a chance to go to the Super Regionals.
I knew
and that pitching coach, Brad Phillips, I'm sure had a lot to do with it.
And I will say, Troy's pitching has fallen off since Phillips left.
Yeah. So you put your name in for Brad Phillips right now, then, don't you?
Well, I'm not putting my name. I mean, I think you're going to hear names like Clint Robinson, the former great player who's out for the Marlins.
You know something about him? He stayed in the minor leagues for a long time. I bet he stayed in there 8 or 10 years, Mike.
Yeah, he finally got called up when he was about 30 years old, which is incredible.
Played in the major leagues.
Isn't there a guy named Godwin?
What?
Isn't there a guy with the last name of Godwin that's got some baseball?
Yeah, Chancellor Hawkins' son-in-law. Yeah.
What's his first name? Adam?
Adam Godwin. He's on that staff.
He was on the staff, so that's the name you got to think about. Ponder. We all think Ponder will be a great college.
Well, let me just tell you this, and I hope one of those ADs is listening this morning. Ponder is whoever gets Ponder, and I hope it would be Troy. They've got a real good one, and Ponder ought to be definitely up there in the top 5. I would have to say.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's a guy that will definitely get into college ball eventually.
He's so.
Didn't apply like ours, but what he did apply for road, I think is what everybody needs to look at.
I'm gonna use the word that I hope. I would hope. Rice is not here, but maybe Forrest can say it. He is one of the most unassuming coaches out there. He dances to his own fiddle. He's a guy that just gonna do it his way, and has done it his way for a long time and been very successful in Ponder.
Well, his forte was pitching. Was he a pitcher?
Yeah, he was a pitcher. But I think he played at both positions. He in such a short time he went into the Auburn Montgomery Hall of Fame, and he couldn't have been there 4 or 5 years.
Well, no, I mean, he played his first 2 or 3 years at Alabama and only played 2 years at AUM.
That's right, and became a member of their Hall of Fame. He must have been pretty good.
As a hitter and a pitcher.
Yeah. But you know what? The only way he's going to be heard is for people to speak out and say, hey, there's a high school coach that has sure proven himself, and he's a good one. Of course, There are a lot of good college coaches out there. There are a lot of people. When this job opens up, a lot of people would be interested. A Division 1A baseball job is at Troy University right now open.
What about
One thing about Phillips is experience. He's already got 8 years, coaching in the Sun Belt at Troy. Then he's got another 3 or 4 coaching in the Sun Belt of South Alabama.
Yeah.
So he knows the league and knows what's expected.
This is where his children were born, and you're looking for a premium. I use that word too. How many people use that word, premium? You're looking for a premium guy to run your program. He'd be right there at the top.
What about Irons at Sanford?
Exactly.
I mean, the Sanford job.
Sanford, I know, is looking for a coach because Casey Dunn's the UAB, but that would be a good hire. I don't know if they would go after Derek. Derek was the hottest commodity when he was at Charles Henderson.
Yeah, but Sanford is not a state college. He wouldn't be under the retirement system of Alabama.
You're right.
And he's probably getting close to 20 years in the Alabama retirement system. Yeah. My guess.
Casey Dunn will coach until he dies right there at that place. Of course, his daddy was a legend at Vestavia High School, and Sammy Dunn, and he took the job at UAB, and I'll just say this: baseball in Birmingham has really caught fire with his hire.
If
you want to go outside the box and hire somebody not associated with Pierce or Smart or the Troy program, Gabe Gross from Dothan, coaching at Auburn, Gabe wants to be a head coach.
Oh yeah,
he'd take the Troy job.
Oh yeah, no question about it. And he's a very, very fine young man and a great athlete. And you're right, he's been there. You're right. He's coached in college and in the pros.
Well, I hope we get the sales at full wind with, get that COVID still over us, and it hit us again in the World Series with North Carolina State, and we hope that everybody can get their sales at full sale as it relates to football, and football is here. It's 1st of July. I mean, we are here. Yeah. It is here. Yeah. Football is here.
I want to mention that the Phoenix Suns won last night. They're in the championship series, and now they're waiting to see who will win in the other division, and that's going to be a great game tonight.
Yeah, Milwaukee and Atlanta Hawks are still playing in the Eastern Conference.
But there's been a lot of superstars to get hurt on both teams.
Here's a call coming in here.
All right, hang on. Good morning. Welcome to Today in L.A.
Hey, Bill. Will Manson.
All right, let me get the other one here. Good morning. We got both of you.
You got Mike Amos and Will Matthews calling in. Will Matthews calling in from Ozark this morning from his law office. Good morning, Will.
Actually, I'm calling from Tallahassee, Florida.
Oh, where you heading?
Headed down to Cedar Key, Florida.
Oh, boy. What girl lives there? Excuse me. That was a practical joke, but.
Stop by and have breakfast with Governor DeSantis? No, I don't think so.
But how are things going, Will?
They're going good.
Your son now, is he still in politics?
No, he's in fact, he has got a job with a bank, and he's going to be moving to Ozark August the 1st.
Well, that's great.
And he's working with this bank out of South Carolina, and he can live in Ozark. He'll have some traveling to do, not much. But he's going to be dealing with all the farm loans in the United States for this bank.
Oh, boy.
He's worked at USDA for 4 years.
Uh-huh.
So it's a natural thing for him, and he's a valuable player, and that's why this bank hired him.
He's giving you how many grandkids? More than three grandkids. About as quick as it's about as
One
quick as
on
I've
the
ever
way.
heard.
So that's going to be 4.
Oh, wait a minute now. No way. Boy.
Lord.
Oh gosh.
Well, we're never going to see you again. You're going to be stuck with those grandkids.
Yeah, that's right, Will. You need to stay at home. You need to be a stay-at-home grandmom.
Oh, yeah. I'll still on it.
How old is the oldest now? 3?
They're going to have them all playing golf. They're all going to be golfers one day.
Well, I tell you what.
The little boy he just had, that's 7 months old, is going to be a big boy. I mean, big. He's going to be a football player.
Okay.
Of course, Will Matthews is one of the members of our team here.
Well, I hated your Commodores didn't win last night. I was full of mistakes. They did not even show up. They didn't show up the last 2 nights.
They just stopped hitting, didn't they?
I don't know what happened.
They got one hit.
Rocker.
They got rocked.
Got rocked last night too.
Yeah.
Rocker was awful. He gave up 5 runs in 3 or 4 innings. It was bad.
Well, couldn't find the strike zone last 2 nights.
They're saying all the 25,000 people in that game the past 3 nights. 20,000 were from Starkville or Mississippi State fans. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Boy, I tell you, they've always been known as a baseball town and a baseball school, and they proved it this weekend. Gosh, a tremendous effort.
And those tickets varied between $1,600 to about $300 a ticket.
Were they really?
Yeah, highest about 16.
I would have paid that in a heartbeat though to see my team win a national
Yeah,
championship.
you're right. So congratulations. Of course, Rebecca Amos gave a good report on tennis yesterday. So all you folks are getting excited about Wimbledon, breakfast at Wimbledon coming up. And how many times can you remember that being at the beach, Mike? I said, wake up, it's breakfast at Wimbledon. And what time would it have been in Florida at the time? It would have been dark, I know that.
Yeah.
Oh. But, we can't but over there it's such a popular sport, and over here it's not very popular. You would think it would be more popular than it is.
So I know on Tuesday we'll have Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady joining Phil Mickelson and Bryson DeChambeau in the match event live on television. So Mickelson will pair with Brady, and you'll have Aaron Rodgers pair with Bryson DeChambeau. So that'll be fun to watch. It's going to be in Big Sky, Montana.
When will it be, Mike?
Tuesday.
It'll be on Tuesday.
Boy, I'm interested to see what kind of ratings they'll get. That is something.
Or what's the tournament this weekend?
It's in Detroit, isn't it? Hello, you got
The Motor City.
Well, Will, what do you got to add to the program today?
Well, I was going to tell y'all we had a special guest in Ozark Tuesday. Charles Kelly, the coaches with Saban at Alabama, came and gave a speech to the Rotary Club. It's very, very interesting, very good.
Yeah. Now, he's from down there he's from Ozark, actually, isn't he?
From Ozark. His father, Levon Kelly, he was a football coach in various places around the Wiregrass. He was there. They had the football coaches from Carroll High. They were there.
Yeah.
And then it was a big crowd. Big crowd for that.
Yeah.
Well, Alabama had a linebacker enter the transfer portal yesterday, King Makita from West Point, Georgia. Because I guess since they added the linebacker from Tennessee, everybody can't play. So he's entered the transfer portal.
Tell us about him, Mike. Do you know?
He didn't play very much. I know that.
He played special teams, 4-star recruit
It must be
in
pretty
2019. So, and the Alabama Troy University's linebacker Carlton Marshall has been named to the Pro Football Focus preseason All-America second team. He led the country in tackles last year. In the last 2 years of football, he's led the nation in tackles. 5'9", 216-pound linebacker from McGill Tulane in Mobile.
I tell
So
you,
that was an honor for Carlton Marshall.
a great player out of a great high school program, and now he's really doing a great job at Troy. And I'm sure Coach Lindsey has got to be excited about, he, along with the Donald kid, Mike, transferred from Iowa, two real good football players there.
Yeah, McDonald.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, he had about 75 tackles last year, right?
Yeah.
LSU lost a big offensive lineman. He got in trouble, so he's entered the transfer portal. That's the second time he's been in trouble in about 6 months.
And
he's only 6'7", 290. He's from Louisiana, so Mike, Big Mike, hopes he doesn't transfer to Louisiana.
You're right.
Or someplace like that. But
of course, it is Thursday, the Thursday before the 4th of July, and everybody's getting excited about the big weekend. Mike, tell us about what's happening at Grayton Beach other than the mosquitoes.
Well, we got the famous regatta on Saturday. It's called Rags to Riches. Back in the day, some folks that live in Grayton and Seagrove decided they wanted to do a little sailboat race. So that'll take place. There'll probably be about 25 sailboats on the beach Saturday morning.
And about what time would you have to be down there, Mike?
It starts around 10:30, so they'll race from Grayton to Seagrove, turn around and come back to Grayton. Back in the day, Grayton was Rags and Seagrove was Riches.
Yeah.
So I think they should probably change the regatta to Riches to Riches.
Yeah.
But that'll be a lot of fun, and then the Grayton parade will start down here at 8:30.
Mm-hmm. Well, all right, now, when was the regatta?
On the 4th of July, the Great Beach Parade will start. Ollie at the Red Bar will have donuts and orange juice, and then some people are going to have the watermelon and mimosas. My house will be pouring Bloody Marys and mimosas and other stuff.
Yeah, they will.
It'll be a fun event.
what about the flags right now on the beach? The flag.
Last thing I saw was yellow.
Yellow.
I hope, and of course, were you talking about the be able to swim or?
Right, how the flag, how the water was doing.
Yeah, you're right. And of
Yeah,
course,
it's calmed down a lot, but now, I don't know if y'all looked in the tropics, but we got something brewing that could possibly be a hurricane by next week.
yeah. But that's the price you pay to live in paradise, isn't that right?
Yeah, it's just kind of scary though. Early in the hurricane season, I already get stuff.
Yeah. Of course, we want to remind you that Wiley Sanders Truck Lines is looking for good drivers to drive and be a part of their company. And of course, Wiley Sanders Truck Lines, Troy, Alabama, is wanting you to take a look at their company as a career opportunity.
You know, it's interesting. I saw a couple different articles. Tua was in Tuscaloosa doing a charity event, and Tua has mentioned Mac Jones, and he said that him and Mac Jones have had no conversations since Mac Jones was drafted, by the Patriots. You would have thought that they would have had a really good relationship at Alabama together, but he claims he had not talked to Mac yet. I thought that was kind of interesting. Maybe they, all these TV competitions are a lot more heated than people think.
Well, and another thing, why, of course, Tua, had his own market, of course, as far as fan support and people that love to watch him play. And then Jones, I think Jones is going to be one of the most popular players ever, rookies ever. I really do. I think it'd be.
I think he's going to be one of the most popular players ever played at Alabama.
Yeah, he's true.
Definitely is. I mean, people really. I mean, the more I think people will look back at that national championship season will realize how amazing it was.
Yeah, and then our quarterback coming up, we've yet to really see him play, and I'm looking forward to it because he adds a new dimension to all those good quarterbacks. Well, Hurt was a runner, and he was. Yeah. This guy's more like a Hurt than he is anybody else.
But he's probably a better passer, coming out of the gate than.
He'll be very similar to Russell Wilson type.
Yeah, he will, and So
Bryce Young is will be a better college.
You know, I don't have the numbers in front of me, but Alabama had a lot of preseason SEC picks, even though they lost 10 to the draft, 10, 11.
I know it.
And they're a couple of them are offensive linemen, and the wide receiver from Canada, Mitchie, and a lot of defensive
Mike,
players.
you think that Alabama does not miss a beat with Bryce Young?
Well, I mean, I think they'll need some growing pains, but I mean, I feel like Alabama's defense is going to bail them out a lot more this year than they have in the past. My only concern is basically if Bryce Young gets injured. I really am questioning Alabama's backup quarterback situation.
Yeah. And one of them is Paul Bryant Jr. That's a pretty good name, isn't it?
Yeah, but what I've watched,
Tyson.
I just don't think he's ready to contribute. Maybe another year, maybe for him, but I didn't see anything that really impressed me in the 8A game.
Yeah. Would he get an extra year? Like
everybody gets an extra year.
All right, that is going to really help. Don't you think that's going to really help him? Bryant Jr.
I mean, if I was an Alabama fan, I would be upset that you don't have Tallulah somewhere below on the roster anymore.
He's still at
He
Maryland.
put up really good numbers at Maryland last year.
Yeah.
Isn't there another quarterback from Texas that's real good? I can't call his name.
Yeah, he didn't play in the spring. What Bryce and I were talking about, we think it was due to COVID issues. They kept him out.
Yeah. So this kid has a great running ability.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean he actually graduated early, so he participated in the spring.
What's his name? Does he have a name?
We can find it.
What is it, Monroe?
Yeah. But I tell you, Alabama's going to be sort of a mystery, really, offensively. Even though he's proven to be a good running quarterback.
Well, you got a great running back. Brian Robinson, I think, is ready to, be the leader at running back. But then you got all those great freshmen and sophomores behind him. Messi's a number one wide receiver for sure, number 8. Put up phenomenal numbers last year. You got the guy that transferred in from Ohio State, that's a speed burner, runs 4.3.
Who is that kid?
What's it, Jameson something for us?
And he, yeah, go ahead.
Something like that. But there's a Braxton Barker as a quarterback from Birmingham.
That's Jay Barker's son, yeah.
And you got Bryce Young. You have Jalen Milroe from Katy, Texas.
There we go.
6'2", 201.
There we go, ladies and gentlemen. His name is Jason Milroe, and he's
he might be the number 2
backup to
then Paul Tyson. That's Coach
Bryant's
Paul
Tyson. I want to call him back, Paul.
How about a Stone Hollenbach?
Yeah.
He's from Southern Columbia out of Pennsylvania. He's 6'3", 208.
And he's a
redshirt sophomore, yeah. Stone Hollenbach.
Hollenbach at quarterback, yeah.
And that's the only quarterbacks I see.
Auburn has got a better backup quarterback for sure. I mean, they got T.J. Finley. He started 4 or 5 games at LSU, and he's a guy that can really push both ends.
Yeah.
He might be.
Bryce Young, I mean, he stays healthy. He's not a big physical guy, though.
And this is a new coach, and he's new eyes looking at this guy. They evaluate him all differently, and I think Auburn's got a coach that is going to find some football players.
He's about 6'7", 250. They may put in a running package with him.
Is that how big he is?
Isn't he about 6'5", 6'6"? He's huge.
He's definitely 6'6", yeah.
Boy, I tell you.
I mean, Auburn has got weapons. There's no doubt about it. It's just a matter if the offensive line play can get better and the defensive line play can get better. That was a huge drop-off from last year.
Yeah. I just think, I've said all along, I think Auburn's going to be a lot better than people think. Maybe 9, 8, and at least 8.
I think if he wins 8 games, he goes 8-4. That's one of the best coaching jobs ever. After what they lost and how they played last year.
Yeah. Right now, all right, this is hard to do. But right now, if you had a choice between the quarterbacks, Bryce Young at Alabama or the guy they got now,
Bo Nix.
Bo Nix.
Who would you take,
Who
Will?
would you take?
Take Bryce Young.
Will, who would you take?
I'd say anybody over Bo Nix. He's horrible.
How do you really feel?
But Bo Nix is a freshman. Shoot, he was pretty good.
Yeah. And
Big runs.
what is he? What is he?
I feel like he got worse last year.
I think it's the scheme that got him.
What is his classification now? Is he a junior?
He can either be a sophomore or he can be a junior.
Can you believe that? And he would have 3 more years. Bo Nix would have 3 more years.
Yeah,
I tell you what, that's pretty good quarterback that you got right there.
He's got experience,
And he loves to run out of the pocket.
Hey, Will, last night he tweeted that he's now a spokesman for Milo's Tea, Bo Nix, with that name, image, and likeness brand.
Now,
These kids
are these people, are they limited? Oh, how many sponsors they can have?
I don't think so. I don't know. Do you know, Will? I think we just lost Will.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Mike,
Is there
what
a
do you
limit?
think?
Is there a limit to it, Mike?
Yeah.
I don't know. I hadn't read all the details. I mean, I knew that this was coming, but I don't know. I mean, some of these Alabama guys, I can't imagine how many sponsors some people want to sponsor with them.
Right.
Yeah.
You on TV?
What's
y'all?
our
Is there a limit? Is there a limit of how much you can make?
I don't think so.
But
You better do your taxes. Don't forget.
How about the Braves last night? The Braves only won 20-2 against the Mets.
20-2.
Oh man. But
Ozzie Allen, that little second baseman, hit 2 home runs, had 7 RBIs.
That's the most in over 80, 90 years, I believe. Tyler.
let me look at this.
20-2.
I've been
box
a
score.
lot of baseball games. I don't know if I've ever seen a baseball team score 20 runs in a game all up.
I don't either.
You know, I want to mention, they rescheduled that fishing day, Mike. It's going to be next Saturday. That fishing day was postponed.
Yeah, exactly.
The Pike County Kids Fishing Day will be next Saturday, July the 10th at Clay Hill Farms. It'll start about 9 o'clock in the morning. So it'll be reprinted in the Troy Messenger, I'm sure, but just want to get everybody to mark that on your calendar next Saturday for the fishing day for kids at Clay Hill Farms.
I was looking at the box scores, and I'm having a hard time finding that game. They've got Tuesday's games, but not last night's games that I was looking at.
Yeah.
I'd like to see that box score.
All these went 5 for 6 with 2 home runs and 7 RBIs.
Oh me. But the Braves are not having a very good year, really, are they, Mike? How do they look?
Yeah, they're 3 games under 500.
Yeah, but of course, I still would like the opportunity to go over there. In fact, I don't know exactly how they look as far as when they are back at home for a home stand, and that would be a lot of fun to go to Atlanta to see that.
They've already started up in Detroit, the Rocky Mortgage Classic. The leader right now is let's see, Brandon Hagee is 3 under. Hendrick Norland is -2. Jason Day is -2. Luke Donald's -2. So just getting underway up in Detroit.
Yeah. We're going to take a short break, ladies and gentlemen, brought to you by our good friends at Bird Drugs on the corner in downtown Troy, and a delicious breakfast is being served right now. We'll be back after this.
A personal touch, a high level of trust. Whether it's checking and savings accounts, personal or business loans, or our local friendly service. That's what Troy Bank and Trust customers expect. But now we offer more. Free identity theft protection for our new and existing customers, protecting your family's time, money, and good name from identity theft. Because protecting your identity is now a big part of our identity.
Troy Cable Security makes it easy to stay aware and stay in control of your home wherever you are. User-friendly interface allows easy navigation for lights, locks thermostat, video, and garage doors. Never worry about leaving your garage door open or the front door unlocked. Your mobile app can send alerts to your phone for alarm and no alarm events. Know when your children arrive home from school with video response. Make sure your home is powered by Troy Cable Security for ultimate access, awareness, and protection.
This is my chart from Southeast Health.
And you're going to want to make it yours.
Not because it's free,
but because it's priceless. Because with my chart, you can schedule appointments online with your provider.
You can email your provider and get answers.
Get test results.
Refill prescriptions.
And manage your family's health care. You know how we all want health care to be easier?
But no one seems to listen?
Well, someone did. Southeast Health.
To get your free My Chart app,
visit your app store or go to southeasthealth.org.
When it comes to surgery, precision is perfection. The very latest technology available ensures the best possible outcome. The Mako Robotic Arm-Assisted Surgery System is now available at Troy Regional Medical Center. Skilled orthopedic surgeon Dr. Robert L. Liljeberg and his team provide patients with faster recovery and better movement after a knee replacement surgery. When accuracy matters, you deserve the very best. Troy Regional Medical Center.
Back to our show, brought to you by our good friends at Troy Bank and Trust Company. I was in there yesterday talking to Jerry Miller and getting all the information up on what's going on in Troy baseball. And, of course, there is an opening for a head coach at Troy University, and we'll be giving you more information as we get it. But I want to mention first the Troy Bank and Trust Company, the only bank you'll ever need, locations of 14 locations to choose from. I bet you can't get them, though, Mike.
There's 4 in Troy.
There's 4, yeah. Well, and they don't. And then they only counted at 1 in this, but taking a look at they've got. Do they have 2 now in Dothan? I want to say
they have 2 in Dothan. They have. Let's see, 1 in Ayrton. They got 1 in New Brockton. They got 1 in Goshen. They have. Is it 1 or 2 in Auburn?
I know they got 1 in Auburn
at Tigertown.
Yeah.
You've got, I think they got 2 in Brundage.
Yeah, that's right.
I believe the locations, I count the 4 here in Troy as locations.
Yeah. That's 14 locations. That's a lot of locations.
That's a lot of locations.
And
is there 1 in Enterprise?
Yep.
One in Enterprise,
yeah. And New Brockton, you mentioned that, I think.
But, Mike, when I was 17 years old, I was working at the co-op in Goshen, Alabama. I may have just turned 18, but I was 17 my entire senior year. But a fellow by the name of R.G. Warren from Goshen had a 1971 LTD for sale. It had 108,000 miles on it, 4-door blue with a black top, and I bought it for $800. And my granddaddy Lewis McLeod took me to Troy Bank and Trust, and I co-signed with. He had to co-sign with me because I was 18.
Yeah, exactly.
And Frank McClure
I remember
was my loan officer.
Long-time banker there, yeah.
And I've been Troy Bank and Trust all my life. And even when I moved to Georgia, I kept a bank account with Troy Bank and Trust.
Of course, it was Frank McClure and also Sidney Starling. You remember Buddy's there. Excuse me, I'm sorry. Yeah. Good morning, you're on Today in L.A.
Yeah, I remember Mr. Starling.
Sorry, I got cut off.
And then Wagner Starling was at one bank, but he came back to Troy Bank and Trust.
Sure was.
Of course, Imogene Walters, she's Ken's mother, and she's been with the bank for a long time. And we just got there's some good hometown folks in Troy Bank and Trust Company. Just good old.
Exactly right.
I mean, eyeballing, there's anything you need as it deals with banking, you can do it at Troy Bank and Trust.
I want to also let you know what a sale is going on right now at the Dodge place on the bypass in Troy. Of course, we appreciate Premium, the great opportunity to go in and premier Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, and Ram trucks on the bypass. they've got a great selection of new and used cars to choose from. They're dealing too like you've never seen it before. Nobody beats the Premier deal. Nobody.
Right, big 4th of July special is what I read in the paper yesterday, and I see it advertised on TV up until the 4th of July or the 5th of July. They got over 145 vehicles out there on the lot.
They got them listed too, every one of them.
I tell you what, gas prices are getting out of control down here. It's like $3.20 for regular.
Oh no, I've never paid that much for gas.
I think I paid $2.87 yesterday. I gassed up my truck.
I
got
paid
13 miles
$2.79
to the gallon.
I paid $2.79 for mine, and of course it's probably going to get worse. It's going to probably get worse as of course. Hopefully the people's opportunities to get a job or to find a job are a lot better than they used to be. Don't you think?
They're out there,
Yeah,
but
here's some information. NCAA name and image and likeness, what the rule changes mean for athletes, schools, and more. Says the doors to a new era of college sports officially open Thursday for the first time. All NCAA athletes are now able to make money from a wide variety of business ventures while losing their eligibility. A mixture of state laws and NCAA rule changes have removed prohibitions that prevented the athletes from selling their rights to their names, images, and likeness. So the new term is NIL. The transformative shift comes after more than a decade of legal, political, and public pressure to give athletes access to a bigger piece of the billions of dollars generated by college sports each year.
I tell you, I think they have opened up a huge can of worms.
Well, I know.
Then here's the information about who's taking the role. There are roughly a dozen states that have laws in effect that dictate how college athletes can profit from their name, image, likeness. NCAA has instructed individual schools in states that do not have the law in effect yet to craft their own policies based on loose guidelines that are designed to prevent a pay-for-play deal and payments that are used as recruiting inducements.
You know, Michael, earlier in the summer, the University of Alabama announced that they have this program, classes. They got another segment, I think, of the athletic department that will help guide these young athletes the legal process of technically you're owning a business and you have to do certain things if you're making money as far as taxes, promotional, so they're creating another avenue of things that
they got to keep up with.
That they got to keep up with and guide these young kids on. And but social media is what's the key.
You would think a lot of this would be done outside the realm of the athletic department. You wish that there was another way to keep up with it. They have enough things going on as it is, and now they hit with this thing again.
Yeah, it says in some places athletes can't endorse alcohol, tobacco, or gambling products. Others have some restriction on whether athletes are allowed to use school logos and other copyright material and paid opportunities. Most states and schools also prohibit athletes from signing any deals that conflict with school sponsorship agreements.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, did somewhere, I believe it was in either ESPN or CBS Sports, that the quarterback at Miami and the quarterback at Florida State, Milton and
McKenzie, somebody.
And King, they have joined together, and they've created a business together of it's about promoting yourself and things of that nature, and I don't understand how it works, but how they're going to get paid, but they've joined together to form a new business.
And I can understand the rules about alcohol and different things like that, but just basic. Let's just say they had a pharmacist somewhere, a pharmacist that was supporting college quarterback. It seems like that they could do that outside the realm of athletics, to make it easier.
Yeah, here's some example. Athletes that participate to appear in national advertising campaigns, partner with brands to advertise through social media channels, start their own youth sports camps or teach lessons, launch their own business, sell memorabilia, which is huge, paid public appearances for speaking, events for autograph signing, as a NIL rights, a variety of other creative ways. So this is going to be absolutely crazy.
That's what they.
Can you imagine you're getting ready for a big game, and this guy's got a big event that he's putting on to advertise right before the game?
Egg sign. He could have autograph sessions and get paid for signing autographs.
Exactly.
So game day. I mean, what do you call it? T-day. When you're signing stuff, hey, give me a check for $25.
Hey, I'll tell you what. That's the biggest thing that is autographs. That's easy and will be done almost every game.
I think that's the company that they formed. I had to go back and look at it, but it's something to do with selling your likeness or signing autographs, memorabilia. I think that's the company that Milton and the kid from
and the university has got to be something somewhere where the university makes a little money on it too. It's got to be for it to work. It would have to be like.
I mean, it really is crazy. It's just top stars in college sports will have the opportunity to use their fame to sign deals for hundreds of thousands of dollars, if not more.
Oh boy.
Well, I mentioned it this morning. The two twins out there at Fresno. The report that I read, they're worth over $1 million already.
Yeah. Oh gosh. And then
social media is just crazy already.
And then you make another kid mad because nobody's promoted him or anything else, and it makes him mad, and he wants to go probably change over or whatever.
I mean, all this does is help the bigger schools. I mean, the bigger schools are going to benefit more than anybody.
And the ones who are on national TV all the time, the big conferences, you get a little defensive tackle at Campbell, Louisiana Monroe, he's not going to make nothing.
I know, exactly. And when do you do it? Do you do it on the day of the game? I mean, let's say, here we are, the game's going to be at 7 o'clock tonight, but our quarterback's got a signing day for his fans at 10,
I don't think that's. He may have his mother out there selling his.
Maybe he won't have to worry about it.
Somebody out there.
But who's gonna establish things like that? You can't raise money on the day of a game, or you can only raise money on Tuesday or whatever.
I think it'd be.
Well, what this will help though is all those kids that want to go early to the pros. You maybe have more kids that maybe will stay in school a little longer. Because they're already making money. That might help a little bit. I don't know. I
guess Milo's Tea contacted Bo Nix. Bo Nix didn't contact Milo's Tea.
It's a Birmingham, that's where it was founded in Birmingham, Milo's. Makes sense. That's where he's from.
Yeah, I don't think the athletes are having to go find the sponsors. The sponsors will find the athlete.
Yeah.
The issue, for somebody like Saban owns a couple of Mercedes dealerships.
Yeah, I know it.
So there'd probably be no way a Mercedes dealership would get involved with an Alabama player, I wouldn't think.
Yeah.
Conflict of interest.
This is all new to a lot of people, and
Premier Dodge Chrysler Jeep, Jason Gregory needs to go after Carlton Marshall. He's the face of choice football.
That's
player.
right. That's right.
Get Carlton talking about his dealership.
He sure could. Of course, this.
Jason's also a big Auburn fan, though. I'm sure he wouldn't mind somebody's dealership.
Exactly. We're gonna go to our phone.
Good morning. Welcome to Today in L.A.
Hey, it's Will. I'm back. I lost y'all. Got in a bad area.
We'll bring you back. Hang on. Do we have both of you?
Yeah, you did a great job with that. Ladies and gentlemen, we're talking to Will Matthews, our attorney from Dothan and Ozark. And, of course, Will, we're talking about paying players. How in the heck are they going to do it?
Well, you're going to have some players make a lot of money and a lot of players not make any money. So,
And I would think that. Go ahead.
If Tua had been playing, getting money, he'd have got millions.
We weren't missing out.
Yeah.
But again, it's a new thing that's happening, and I know there'll be a lot of adjustments. I don't even know if many rules have really been established for this.
What about Tebow, Trey Lawrence?
They've already said that it's an unlimited amount of money you can make. You know, some guys make $100,000.
Boy, don't you know the morale of your team?
Some guys may make $5.
You know, if I'm a guard and I'm sitting back and not getting a dime, and my quarterback's getting $500,000 a year of advertisement, that'd make me mad.
I believe I take my offensive line out to supper a couple of times.
Right, I think, exactly.
During actual games,
write it off on expenses.
You're probably going to see these college guys on commercials during games now. How crazy will that be?
Yeah, I know it. This ball game is brought to you by.
You take his offensive line out to eat and take it off as a business deduction.
Yeah, it's 7:55.
I'm happy for a lot of these kids, though, that don't come from any kind of money and come from, you know, I mean, like I saw Devontae Smith bought his mom a house the other day.
And 2 cars.
You know, the tears in her eyes, you know, to watch that. I mean, stuff like that's just special, you know, to see these kids build up, you know, basically set up their parents for life.
Yeah.
You know, there was a right tackle, I forgot what team, signed a big contract the other day, $60 million guaranteed. Offensive lineman in the National Football League. I don't have his name, but you know, they like these the Major League Baseball draft here in a few weeks. They're going to sign for anywhere between $3 to $10, $12 million as a signing bonus.
I would think, though, the easiest thing to do, though, for these kids is to have some kind of autograph signing, maybe during the off season or wherever, where they sell their autograph. You know, that's easy. You know, but you know, of course, Coca-Cola. You know, would you think that big corporations like that would want to do this kind of advertising? I wouldn't think they would.
What about?
Say, Mike, are y'all aware that A.J. McCarron's with the Falcons now?
Oh no, I didn't know that. Did you?
I did.
Yeah, that happened like a couple months ago.
Yeah.
Well, who's in front of him? They still got the same quarterback.
I got named Matt Ryan.
I know, but Ryan, you know, he's proven that he can't win. He's not he's a good quarterback, but he's not a winning quarterback.
Well, he was up on the Patriots 28-3.
Yeah.
To win the Super Bowl.
When was that?
When they were playing him for the Super Bowl against the Patriots.
Well,
you don't remember when they gave up the huge lead and the Patriots came back and beat them in the Super Bowl?
I don't know. It's pretty hard for me to remember anything now. Oh, of course, we appreciate Premier Dodge Chrysler Jeep and Ram trucks this morning, and of course, Jason has done so much for the people of Pike County and surrounding areas, and now he's out there selling cars like nobody else, and we appreciate him being a sponsor of our show.
Also on the roster for the Falcons at quarterback is Felipe Franks.
Felipe Franks, yeah.
Remember, he was at Florida, then didn't he go to Arkansas after that?
Yeah, he was pretty good for Arkansas last year.
Let me tell you, you know, people laughed at me when I said, watch out for Florida State. Well, let me just say this. How many times have I told you this? It's the quarterback that really makes things happen. A lot of people think that this guy that's now the quarterback of Florida State is the best quarterback in the country.
You know, right now they're ranked.
He's had too many injuries.
But Mike, at one time,
the guy almost lost his leg.
I know it, but again, hey, he's back and he's full speed, and he's one of the best in the country. And so what I'm saying, what I'm
the country, Central Florida would have kept him.
All right, but you watch it then. You watch this now. He left Central Florida to go to Florida State, and he's going to make them a money.
They gave me this release that he wasn't going to be the starter.
Well, let's just say this: you watch out for Florida State, this quarterback.
You know, Florida State right now is the number 3 ranked team in recruiting for next year. Right now, they're number 3.
See, this guy, you know, Mike, they hired this guy for some reason, the former Memphis coach. Don't you think he's a good coach?
Mike Norvell is a Malzahn disciple, so Yeah.
Oh, Lord.
He's the guy that
Pray for him.
he's the guy that runs pretty much everything. I mean, he learned from Alabama.
Yeah.
But he's one of those guys that I'm glad to see they're recruiting well. I mean, you ought to recruit well when you're at Florida State, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I know that Malzahn's not the most favorite coach around these, but you know.
You can say whatever you want to about Malzahn, but he beat Nick Saban 3 times.
Yeah, I know it.
Can say that.
And I'll tell you, yeah, what I'm saying is he'll win 7 or 8 games every year and soak in that wonderful Florida sun. And he'll win 7 or 8 games a year.
He'll probably win more than that.
Yeah, maybe more than that.
When Alabama won the national championship that year, they just whipped Alabama.
Yeah.
When Alabama beat Georgia on the amazing Tua throw,
yeah.
That game at Auburn wasn't even competitive that day.
Yeah, we got beat that day, didn't we? Yeah.
Of course, Jalen Hurts was playing quarterback instead of Tua.
Yeah. Well, it's all of this.
We never see Tua play for Alabama ever again if Jalen Hurts finishes out that year. If he didn't come in that national championship game, everybody on that coaching staff, even players, said he was transferring.
Yeah.
If he wouldn't have got into that game.
Yeah.
Well, I tell you, it's all about that guy that takes the ball from center every time and looks and throws or hands off. Is that quarterback? And if he's good, you got a chance to be good. Don't you agree? Oh, what's going on? What's going on?
Man, Will, you off the road? Will?
I'm on the road.
Yeah. Will, you went?
You just went off the road.
You sound like you just went through a puddle of water, Will.
Riding along the interstate.
Because you're going to South Florida. How far is that below Orlando?
I'm going to Tampa.
Yeah.
They may go. Here's Gus Malzahn in Central Florida schedule. We've mentioned it before, but Boise State at home, Bethune-Cookman, Louisville, Navy, East Carolina. Well, here's a big one: Cincinnati, Memphis, Temple, Tulane, SMU, Southern Methodist, and UConn and South Florida. So
there's some pretty tough games there, Yeah,
they may go undefeated.
Yeah, and at the same time, some fairly good teams on that roster. Let me just say this: I was one of the people that hated to see Malzahn done the way he did as far as the coach was, but he's by far one of the richest men in college football as we speak. With that, was he able to spend all $23 million that he got? Did he?
Well, he got a large sum up front, and then I think he gets the rest over the next few years.
I mean, what I'm saying.
That's why Central Florida. I think he got $11 million up front, and then I think Central Florida contract with what Auburn owes him. He'll get the next like $10 million or so.
Yeah. So he's a very wealthy man. He loves football and loves to eat at your favorite restaurant, late night restaurant in Auburn.
I wonder what kind of chewing gum he chews.
Waffle House?
Yeah. Waffle House. You reckon Waffle House will sponsor somebody? But he loved Waffle House, and he went to Waffle House after every victory. So don't you know, he brought a bunch of fans with him to the Waffle House every night after he won?
Yeah, the big question in Central Florida is if he wins 10, 11, 12 games, does he eventually try to get back into the SEC?
Let me tell you this: I'd take him at Vanderbilt right now. He would win more games than most of them at Vanderbilt right now.
You want to tell you where he might go? LSU. LSU.
Yeah,
Orgeron may be out, and Gus will land in LSU, the hotbed. They're always in the top 5 in recruiting. They still are right now. They're number 4 behind Florida State.
That is amazing.
But if you go to LSU, and he's from Arkansas, hey.
Some people.
If LSU opens, I think LSU would go after Kiffin. if Kiffin would love to coach at a place like LSU, those kind of athletes.
Yeah. Oh, yep,
The
there you
kids get
go.
out of Louisiana compared to what you're going to get at Ole Miss. I mean, if he could win a national championship at LSU, he'll never win a national championship at Ole Miss.
Well, do you say that the LSU coach is in trouble? Is he in trouble now?
He's under some trouble over this Darius Guy stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
some Title IX stuff. And,
he could actually get fired before the season, or what do you think?
I don't know about before the season.
There's some major stuff going on, but it's off the field stuff.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't know what will happen.
Well, let's just say this, and you hold it with Forrest here a minute. They say recruiting's the most important thing is, or give us the top 5 or 10 recruiting schools in the nation.
This is right now. Of course, this will change. Of course, Alabama's like number 15, and I've got like the top 10. Ohio State, number 2 is Notre Dame, 3 is Florida State, LSU's at 4, Georgia's at 5. Boston College right now is at 6.
Boston College, I can't believe that.
Baylor is at 7.
Baylor, yeah.
Penn State's is next, then Texas A&M. But if I'm just say if I'm the LSU people, would you rather have Lane Kiffin or Gus Malzahn? Lane Kiffin's swagger, I think, would fit better at LSU than Gus's.
Right.
But I think
those Cajuns will go crazy over Lane Kiffin.
They will.
You're right. But of course,
nonchalant and fancy free.
Nothing that's happened yet, but it could happen. Let's just say that.
Maybe after this football season.
We're going to take a short break.
Guys, you can't seriously think Gus Malzahn will get a job anywhere in major school. It's not going to happen.
Yeah, but so what I'm saying.
That's how you tell if you've got a great coach for school is if somebody else wants it. If nobody else wants it, it's not any good.
But what I'm saying, I think he could be relaxed and coach football for the next 20 years and be probably financially as good a shape as any of them.
Well, he's got more money than you spend right now.
Yeah, I know it. Exactly right.
I mean, I'd say at Central Florida for 5 years, and you can win probably 50 games. You probably win 10 games a year.
Yeah.
Oh, easily.
He's waiting for that 12-game playoff.
And that beautiful boy, I reckon you probably could not find a prettier place to live than Central Florida. Beautiful.
I was told the 12-game playoffs will start in 2022. That kind of surprised me.
That's not official yet, though. I don't know. I thought the earliest was 2023.
I tell you what, I can understand 8 teams in the championship. I can't see 12. That's way too much, I think.
Well, they're giving the first 4 seeds a bye. They don't play.
That's all it is. It's only really you got 2 extra games.
And most of those games will be within the bowl picture, wouldn't it? Be the same thing within. They will all be bowl teams, wouldn't you?
Well, the 12
to start with, the 8 games. I think they're going to use some of the bowls. The first games will be at actually home stadium.
Yes, the first 4 games.
I got you.
And then after that there'll be 8 teams left. Then they'll go to a bowl. Then when it's the final 4, they'll go back to like they'll start rotating around those other places that have them now. But the first 4 games will be at somebody's home. Yes, sir.
Of course, want to mention Health Actions today. That's where I get my physical therapy about every other day now, and of course I appreciate them very much. Also, A1 Services, Terry Moats, my good friend at A1 Services, and if you need an air conditioner or you need a heating, no better place than Terry Moats. But also want to mention Southeast Alabama Gas District, located in Andalusia, Alabama, and they also have stores throughout the region here, and of course we appreciate them and their services to the people of Pike and also surrounding counties.
There's
Will Matthews right there, the Matthews Law Firm.
East Grove Street.
How many World Championships has Will Matthews won in Andalusia?
All right, Will, we've got to mention this. Of course, ladies and gentlemen, a lot of people don't know this, and some people do know this, is that Will Matthews is one of the top domino players in the world. And the World Championships of Dominoes is coming up in Andalusia real soon. Tell us about it, Will.
Well, I'm rated number 3 in the United States.
Yeah, you are. By what poll?
There is and it's kind of crazy, but this guy
We got to Google this.
got the rating, you know, and I was number 3 2 years ago, but I haven't seen anything since COVID hit, but it's next Friday and Saturday is the World Championship.
Will you do anything to prepare for it?
Mike, I haven't played dominoes for almost 2 years. We used to play in Ozark all the time, but we've had several people die.
Yeah.
We've had people get sick. You know, it's kind of sad.
Yeah.
You know, there's just not any young domino players playing anymore.
Well, do you get much attention? Your ranking, do you get much attention in the when you get there?
No, it's pure luck because they draw partners out of a basket, and I mean you can get somebody that is a good player, you can get somebody that can't even spell dominoes.
Well, I want to mention this. Just remember, you know, just some things that I thought about.
About like when I sit down at the blackjack table sometimes, I get good players around me and I get horrible players.
Well, let's just say this.
If you're playing a shoot, my God, you could lose every single hand because the guy doesn't know what to do.
Yeah. Will, what would you go? What domino would you go down on? The only one that I know that could score would be the 2-3. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Would it be the 2-3? 2-3. Nobody can score off of it. Is that right?
Right.
That's right.
What would you do with the double sixes if you're holding a double six?
Well, if I've got the 6-3 in my hand, it's coming down.
Yeah,
I always heard you try to get rid of the double six immediately as soon as you can.
Yeah. Are you always trying to do it? If you get, let's just say you had a lot of threes, you know, in your dominoes, you felt like you were just loaded with threes. What would you do?
Well, it just depends on what all you got in your hand, Mike.
Yeah.
Play.
What I'm saying though.
When y'all play 4 people at a table, 2 guys against 2 guys.
Yes.
So y'all don't have a bone pile.
Do what now?
The bone.
There's not a bone pile.
No, there's no boneyard if you're playing 4 people.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what do they usually do at Andalusia?
I tell you what, how much did it cost to play in that? I would love to go play in that one day.
It's $100 each tournament.
That'd be fun to play in.
Yeah, you're right. The Andalusia. How many players do you think they'll have?
Several thousand.
Really, boy, you know that.
There'll be about 400 players.
Boy, that Andalusia, what is it, the Rotary Club that sponsors it?
Yes.
They do well, don't they?
They have it at the convention center.
It's at it's called the Ag Center, but it's very nice.
Yeah.
Will, do they?
That's near. That's not too far from. I mean, I could probably make that in an hour and 15 minutes.
Will, do they do that?
If you want to play, just drive up there and sign up.
And that starts next week. It starts next week. Is that right?
Yes, sir. Friday at 8 o'clock, Saturday at 8 o'clock.
And you can sign up once you get there, Mike.
You can go up there and sign in at 7:30 and pay them your money, and you're in.
And you're in.
Do they use that money towards scholarships, or do you know what they do with their?
They give money. I think they give the money to Camp Haskell.
Okay.
The camp down there in Covington County for crippled children,
yes, sir.
handicapped kids,
yeah.
That type of thing.
Of course, I can't remember his name right off the bat, but who's the guy that founded it? He was from Troy at one time.
Well, Dr. Tomlin.
Yeah, Tomlin, yeah.
And Charles Tomlin is his
name. Yeah, that's right. He's a doctor.
Retired doctor. his health has kind of deteriorated some. He had a bad fall, and he's been on a walker for the last couple of years, but he's a great guy.
Oh, yeah.
He still plays in the tournament.
No question, he is a very, very good guy. And, of course, that's a great tournament. Andalusia's Domino Championship starts next week. If you want to play in it, take off. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I remember that.
What is the longest you've ever heard anybody drive or fly in to play in that tournament? Is there people from all over the country?
All over the world.
They had some from foreign countries. They had some guy from Russia come one time.
Yeah.
They have people from California. You know, most of these people fly in. There's a group. There's a group of brothers from Kansas City, Missouri. There's like 8 or 10 of them, and at least 5 or 6 come every year.
Wow.
And several of them have won tournaments.
Yeah, this is the 45th annual World Championship, founded in 1976.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm surprised that like Biloxi, some of those casinos down there have never tried to get this moved down there.
Now, Michael, they're having one in Las Vegas.
Yes.
And I'm thinking about going, but I don't know. It's like a $500 entry fee.
Yeah.
And
I tell you what, Southwest has got unbelievable deals out of Birmingham right now. I booked Vegas for Halloween weekend, and we got trips for $250 a piece round trip.
That's not a bad deal. There's something wrong with it.
We're losing you a little bit again, Will.
You got to speak up.
We got you.
The Las Vegas tournament is $50,000 first prize.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
$50,000. Wow.
Oh, man. I tell you what, it's one of the great games. You know, I've been playing dominoes for years, especially at the beach. We've always had a table at the beach that always had dominoes on it. And so we had many domino back.
Definitely reminds. Every time I think of dominoes, I think of my granddad, Roy Crow, because he loved dominoes.
He sure did. When he and his brother went at it, boy, that was a very competitive domino match.
They used to play at the Country Kitchen a lot.
Exactly, yeah.
There in Tom Finley's place.
You know, it makes you use that brain a little bit too. You know, my daddy was a good domino player. Yeah.
I would get caught sometimes because I'd put dominoes in my toes and pass them to my partner.
Oh, man. Of course, ladies and gentlemen, Will Matthews is on the road to South Florida, and we hope you'll be careful. Will, do you see a lot of traffic right now?
There's not a soul out here.
Really?
Let's come drive 38 and go bumper to bumper. My wife, it's been taking her an hour to get home every day.
Are you on 75? Is that where you're going to 75? Are you going to 75, Will?
I'm on 221.
It's what?
I'm on 221. It goes down through.
Oh, you got it. All right. But I thought to Tampa you took 75 south, didn't you? Will?
You know, Tallahassee from Dothan, where he lives, is only an hour and a half.
Yeah.
Yeah, I went through Tallahassee a little bit ago.
Yeah. Of course, we want everybody to remember that our 4th of July celebrations here in Troy are on Sunday night at dark, and that dark might be closer to 9 o'clock at night, but it is one of the top fireworks displays in the country right here in Troy, Alabama.
Yeah, they're going to shoot them off from Charles Henderson High School,
yeah,
so
right.
you can get on different spots to view it.
You know, around
Friday
the stadium,
night.
even Crow Hill, you can see it real good. You know, all over the place.
Yeah, on the Friday night in Brundage, they're going to have an old time 4th of July celebration this Friday from 6 to 9. In Meeksville, Saturday morning, you line up at 9 if you want to be in the parade. The parade starts at 10 in Meeksville. I believe that's their 10th annual parade in Meeksville.
Right. Try to get up there around 9 o'clock at least to sign up, and you're in the parade. Yeah. And, hey, if you want to ride a bicycle or pull a stroller or whatever, you can be in it. the parade's about a mile long. That's a pretty big country parade, a mile
right.
long,
They have all kind of arts and crafts and festivities afterwards.
And make sure you buy you some corn on the cob, man. Make sure that you got for the 4th, you got corn on the cob. That's one of my favorite things for the 4th. And what is yours?
I'm ordering now.
Ribs or what?
It doesn't matter what kind of food. But
watermelon is another thing.
Corn on the cob.
Corn on the cobs and watermelon is something that is traditional in my family.
I tell you what, the carousel's got some really good corn right now.
Yeah,
they got really good corn and tomatoes right now.
Of course, they got Slocum tomatoes. Why does Slocum, Alabama, have some of the best grounds to grow tomatoes?
I guess it's because of the dirt. Because of the dirt.
Because
the red
of
tops.
the dirt.
The Slocum High red tops.
But you're right. Exactly right. The Slocum High School
red
red
tops. The only red tops
yeah.
in the country, just like the Flying
I
Squadron.
feel like you got to have some kind of barbecue on the 4th. Some kind of, Boston butt. Or you can just do hamburgers, hot dogs, still a little bit of everything. There you go.
How about some
ice cream? My buddy, let me just say this. I was talking to Jerry Miller, of course, one of the voices of the Trojans of Troy State University, and, or Troy University. What am I talking about? I should know the name of it, Troy University. But, he and I were talking about broadcasting, and, I've done it since 1985, on Troy Cable, and had the opportunity to do all the Charles Henson games for over 30 years. But, we were talking about broadcasting and doing the things. Steve Kemp up in the studio, our guy, our boss here that runs this show, when we used to sit down and do these football games and so forth, it didn't matter exactly where you were in the stadium as long as you were able to set up and do the job. So I usually had very little trouble ever setting up. So I was talking to a guy the other day, said, well, why didn't you get up in the press box and all that? Well, you get up in the press box, you make the opposing team mad. Especially if you're winning. Now, if you're losing, it's no big deal. But if you're winning, hey, it's not good to be doing the game for that time.
You only had to worry about that on the road. You had the nicest facilities in the country, probably.
In the country.
Troy.
And one reason...
Boy, y'all had that unbelievable setup.
Yeah, one reason that you set up, if you're away, is because their stands are higher up, and the TV has a better view.
Exactly right.
If you're away, if you're at the home side.
I always, believe it or not, most times stayed on the home team side because, like you said, the facilities were much better, and it was so
I've
good.
always felt like the worst coverage is when you have to do baseball. Because most of the time when you do baseball, you have to set up behind the fence, behind the pitcher.
Yeah, you're right.
So you can't do great camera work like you can at a football game.
Baseball is hard to find a good look, because there's so many.
It's really hard.
It's hard to get it, but we were able to, and of course I did
At
many.
a bigger stadium, you're all right.
Yeah, of course I've had the opportunity to do a lot of championship baseball too, and it was a lot of fun. But I miss doing the play-by-play of Charles Henson football. I stepped down in my own accord by far. Steve Kemp told me, he said, man, as long as you want to, you can call Charles Henson football. And we were glad to do it. But now I was able to.
Trust me, you haven't missed anything the last 5 years.
But I'll tell you what, I told this to these guys the other day. Now I get to the ball game at about an hour before the game, and I sit in the end zone, at the top row in the end zone, and just have the best time eating hot dogs and popcorn and all that, and watching the ball games. I had a great time watching the spring game. I've got a feeling that Charles Henson is going to be much better than people think, Mike, this football season.
They open up at home on the 27th of August.
That's right.
Against Montgomery Catholic, and Montgomery Catholic's got that stud linebacker.
That's right.
That has committed to Oregon.
Yeah.
And then the next game will be away at Greenville, and I think Goshen opens up on the 20th of August against Hopeville.
Yeah.
There. So, I mean,
Hey,
here it is.
I got to dip out early. I got to take these girls to summer camp. But everybody have a happy 4th of July.
You're right.
I'll talk to y'all on Tuesday.
Okay.
Well, have a good day, Michael,
Thank
and a
you.
great weekend.
All right, let's continue that Charles Simpson schedule.
Here's Charles Simpson's schedule. They open up at home on the 27th day of August against Montgomery Catholic.
Very good
And
team.
Catholic, I believe, won the state championship in 3A last year. Greenville's always tough. We play them away on the 3rd of September. On the 9th of September, which looks like a Thursday, I had to look on my schedule, on my calendar, but the 9th of September, let me look it up real quick here, is going to be
your calendar, yeah.
On a Thursday night at home against Early County. That's in Blakely,
County, Georgia, yeah.
Blakely, Georgia, on the other side of Dothan. Touchdown, Early County! I went to a game, and their announcer, that's how he sounds over the PA system.
Yeah.
Touchdown, Early County! But anyway, so Charles Citizen will host Early County on the 9th of September. Then on the 17th, away, big game at Andalusia.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Big game.
At Andalusia.
At Andalusia.
New stadium there.
Then on the 27th, they travel to Mobile to play Williamson. So that's two big games.
Yeah.
On the 1st of October, they'll play at home. Charles Citizen will play Pike Road. And on the 8th of October, away, Rehoboth. Rehoboth is, they seem to be getting stronger and stronger each year. Then on the 15th of October, they'll play Carroll at home. On the 22nd of October, they'll play Headland at home. And on the 29th of October, we play Brantley in Brantley.
What, in Brantley?
In Brantley. Now, we were supposed to play them last year, but there was a COVID issue with Charles Citizen, and then Brantley and Andalusia decided to play. And so Brantley traveled to Andalusia. If I remember correctly, Brantley got a couple of players banged up right before the playoffs. But, Brantley, it's going to be interesting to see. They've lost some good offensive linemen. But, Brantley's always tough year in and year out. That'll be Tucker Kilcrease.
Sure was. Tucker Kilcrease comes. We go to Brantley to play Tucker Kilcrease and the Brantley Bulldogs.
Yeah, it's five home, 5 away. And Goshen's schedule, I noticed it, they only have 4 home ball games. Goshen has only 4.
Hopefully they'll pick one up. They can do. Sometimes they put together a system to find another game.
Right. So that's the schedule. They start the 27th day of August, so it's right around the corner.
Let's talk a little 4th of July. That's coming up, ladies and gentlemen, 4th of July, and we're excited about all the fun things to do around Troy. But it all culminates on the Sunday night, the 4th of July here, and their fireworks is outstanding. Of course, go ahead and find you a place to set up and take your little grill and grill hot dogs and hamburgers. You just have your own little gathering. And there's a lot of greenery to do it with, some of the practice fields and so forth. And so it's going to be a lot of fun to find you a place to tailgate and have a great time and enjoy the 4th of July celebration with the fireworks, and about as good as you're going to find anywhere. And hey, how about a little watermelon, a little cold watermelon, or a little corn on the cob, hot dogs? You can't beat it.
Yep. It says it's going to start probably around 8:30 Sunday night.
It says 8:30, but they're going to start when it actually gets dark.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. And Meaksville, Saturday morning, arrive about 9 o'clock if you want to get in the parade. Yeah. The parade starts at 10.
And what a great atmosphere, a country 4th of July parade.
And that's the Meaksville Volunteer Fire Department is putting that on.
I bet you they'll have a big barbecue, too. They always do.
They have all kind of stuff. They're going to have, you bring your tricycle, your bicycle, your car, your tractors, your wagons, your mules, your horses.
That's right.
You see just about everything in that parade.
Exactly, no question.
And then the town of Brundage, the city of Brundage, they're going to have their celebration Friday night from 6 till 9. It's going to be at the historic Bass House.
Music.
On South Main Street with music, dancing, and other things.
Well, we hope, ladies and gentlemen, of course, we want to mention our sponsor, Premier Dodge Chrysler Jeep and the Ram truck on the bypass. They're dealing like nobody else is dealing right now going on at Premier Dodge Chrysler Jeep. All of our sponsors, we appreciate you very much, and of course, hope you have a happy 4th of July.
Have a great weekend.